In this video, we continue our A to Z exploration of literary devices and poetry prompts with help from the letters J, K, and L. The letter J is for juxtaposition, and juxtaposition in poetry happens when we bring together contrasting elements and place them side by side, sometimes to explore that contrast, sometimes for comedic or dramatic or ironic effect. Consider an old man taking his last breaths in an upstairs bedroom with the window open but the curtains drawn, and what can be heard are the sounds of children from the playground of the elementary school next door as they run around shrieking and laughing. And how do those two contrasting elements together side by side highlight the experience of the old man suffering? How are those contrasting elements used to heighten the reader's experience? And that's for you to discover and explore through the prompt, which is to write a poem about a telephone call. It could actually simply be the sound of the phone ringing, that is one contrasting element, and the silence that comes before the other contrasting element. It could be what is happening between those two speakers, the experience from either end of that line, or it could be that the contrasting elements are the things that happen in the moments before and after that call. That's for you to discover and explore through this J, juxtaposition poetry prompt. The letter K is for kenning. Kenning is an Old Norse and Old English literary device in which metaphorical language and expressions were used to explain nouns. So, for example, using the expression the whale rode to describe the sea, or describing a cemetery as a boneyard. These are examples of kenning. Your poetry prompt is to write a poem about a journey. It could be a very short journey. It could be waking up in the morning and staggering to the kitchen to put the coffee on. Or it could be an odyssey that crosses oceans. Again, that's for you to decide in this poem, crafted using kenning. Each step of the way, everything the speaker encounters, try to use examples of kenning. It's a very rich and evocative way of playing with language, and one I'm sure you'll have fun with. The letter L is for lyric poetry. Lyric poetry is not a literary device. In fact, it's an entire genre of poetry. I've spoken previously about different forms of poetry, about free verse and formal verse. Well, within those forms, there are two main types of poem. Either a narrative poem, which, as the words suggest, is a narrative, is a story unfolding for the reader, and then lyric poetry. The journey is in one place. So Robert Browning says very helpfully that the lyric poet digs where he stands. That's a very useful description of what lyric poetry is. I could, for example, choose to write a poem about that tree outside my window, about feelings of love, about the winter. It is rooted in one place, and ideas and emotions and feelings constellate around that focal point. So your prompt is to write a poem about absence, and the speaker in the poem is going to use, or the poem is going to focus on maybe one or two objects that hold meaning for the speaker, and it's through these objects that the idea of absence is explored. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps to grow the channel, and I'll be back soon with more poetry content.